Something that I've spoken about recently that is exemplified really well in Dimension 20's Cloudward Ho is the capturing of the feeling of fantasy. Spoilers ahead for 3 or 4 episodes in. But when we are telling fantasy stories, there's this trap of telling these stories as if they are mundane. Fantasy isn't just a setting, it's a presentation. In Cloudward Ho, the setting is a wacky, wondrous steampunk world called Gath. And within the world of Gath, there's this myth of a place called Zood, where the world becomes even more strange and wondrous. The world of Gath is contextually mundane. None of the elements of that world are fantasy to the characters present within them. There is steampunk and airships, but that is all taken for granted by the characters. Zood is this extension of that. So when the players and the characters are experiencing Gath, it's just the world they live in. But when they finally do make it to Zood, then it is fantastical because it's otherworldly, it's heightened, it's reverent. Zood is presented initially as something that only exists on the edges of imagination, so it feels special when that becomes real. And I think the essence of something feeling fantastical is it feeling just out of reach, is the feeling of something being unknowable and uncontrollable. Fantasy is best felt in a greater than. And the framing of this story achieves that really well. Now, I think Brennan also has this flaw as a GM where he has this tendency to over-explain everything because the mechanics of the world fundamentally are tied into the plot in almost every story he's ever told. So as the players move through the plot, they dispel the fantasy. And it does feel like that is happening in this campaign. However, that is a high-level critique of something that I don't think is being presented as that serious. And regardless of how much fantasy is dispelled through the course of the series, it doesn't change how good of a reference point that initial capturing of fantasy is.